Originally the Artisan series came to be through the Tokyo Guitar Show, and I made I think it was 12 guitars, and they were just super striking. But these really stood out, and you could tell just by how many people were photographing the guitars. At this one area where they had them on display, man, it was just a constant crowd. They were stars in themselves. On the original Tokyo guitars, I was able to have some input on what they were. I mean, after, they selected the woods and definitely told me what they wanted, but I was able to say, well, why don't we go this direction a little bit, like with the pick guards and some of the hardware. I was able to use that in the team-built versions as well, which was really helpful, and it ended up making a really beautiful guitar.
Well, with the Artisan series, they don't fit a traditional figure profile that we use on most guitars.
For these guitars, we maintained an alder body to keep it Fendery, but we just did a series of different tops.
These are Pacific Coast maple, which grows up in Oregon and Washington in the U.S. And some of the trees, and it's a small percentage, get a real high figure to them. And traditionally, guitar builders have liked the flame, which is the real tight curly grain, or the quilt. And they both come on the same type tree, but they're a different cut and a different tree. These guitar tops are really neither one of those. They're a weird mixture that's somewhere in between the two. So what it means is that for us, it doesn't really fit a great, okay, it's flame, or it's quilt, or it's burl, or it's something else. These are a combination of all of them. So it makes them really unique. Now this would be a perfect example of something that works great for the Artisan series. You see, it's a little bit unique. This is a real piece of wood. You see, this one's going to have really unique characteristics all the way through it. And while it's a lot of work to work with these because it's got strange grain, it doesn't want to sand very well, it doesn't want to do a lot of things well, through the Artisan series, where we can put a lot more time and effort into it, we can actually make these work.
The tops will definitely affect the sound of the guitar. What you're doing is, especially the different tops, maples are harder and they'll lock it in a little tighter. Walnut is a domestic wood, so it's going to move a little more.
It works a little bit like a reverberation sort of thing where the sound is coming up through the alder, but the more dense maple tends to reflect it back through. And it'll give you a unique tone. Not that it's something that people aren't used to, but each one will be a little bit different because the way that the sound waves are going to go through these really strange grains are going to be unique to each instrument.